Oof. All right, guys. So that was it for episode 2 of Welcome to Derry. I think me and Jarrell have our heads on straight, so we're willing and excited to review this. Sam, on the other hand, is still in pieces. So, boys, episode 1, I felt like it was a treat. How did you feel about episode 2?
Episode 2. I mean, I pretty similar vibes. I think maybe I gave episode 1 a 9 out of 10. Episode 2 is either 8 or 9. Not exactly sure. Maybe 8 out of 10. It was strong, regardless. Yeah. I feel like it's at its best when it leans into like absolute horror.
Absolutely.
And then when we're outside of that, it's solid. Maybe not like blowing my socks off, but solid though. And well, I don't know if more importantly, but the child actors are giving a lot of heft to the narrative here. But yeah, I don't know. But I mean, it's great so far though.
I can get behind that. I mean, I would say the same thing. I don't think it was as strong as episode 1, but that doesn't by any
No,
means mean
no.
that it is not a good episode, because you have an episode 1 where it just set the bar like that, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't expect it to be as crazy, but I think they did a really good job, and it didn't feel like it like dropped 10 notches. It just, obviously they have to push the pacing, they have to push things along. So I still feel like they did a really good job for an episode 2. We have talked for a few minutes, so I think we've given Sam enough time to gather some thoughts. So episode 2, my boy, how do you feel?
My man's in pain though.
Mm.
It was rough, but I guess I will be continuing the show. I will be going to wherever we're going next, on to episode 3.
Right.
I think everything you guys said was correct. I think the child actors, they're killing it. They're crushing it. They added in a new actor named the actor's name is James. I'm sorry, Blake Cameron James. He was in a movie called We Grow Now. Really excellent actor. And we find out, that this is Commander's son. And I think he's going to bring an interesting presence to the show. Just based on like his knowledge and for science and his thirst for knowledge, I think it's going to be really interesting and engaging. Given what's going on with his dad now and what his dad's about to get into, it's going to make it more of like a Stranger Things vibe. So I think that storyline, it hadn't hit me yet up until this episode. I kind of felt like it was fleeting. I mean, from a racial standpoint, and like, where that was leaning into, I was kind of like, I can believe it. But I was kind of like, where are we going as far as the story? But everything about what's happening to these two girls, how essentially this entity or Pennywise is pitting them against each other because of fear, and at the same time getting exactly what he wanted. He said that she's going to go to the asylum and your dad's going to get taken and he's going to hang. And that's exactly what's happening. Nothing has changed. The difference was in the beginning of the episode is that they at least had each other. And now they're pitted against each other, and they're in a situation where Pennywise can really truly kill them. Like, he can put them in a place of fear. I think the weird thing about it was when the commander was talking about like there's this presence that induces fear and how they want to use that as a weapon. I'm really curious where they're going to go with that. So I think because there's a good balance of horror and intrigue, I'm going to continue to the next episode. That's my initial thoughts anyway.
But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna kind of leave it to you, Sam, to ask some questions, because I'm trying to piece together what I want to kind of highlight. And I think the first thing was like, to start off the episode, I was praying that maybe this was a whole dream sequence,
Right.
No, absolutely. Well, I mean, I didn't want it to happen.
Hey,
But
Jerome, kind of sounded enough.
no, but I'm saying like I definitely knew it was not.
No, for
a
sure, for
dream.
sure. But we're
100%
like I was
exaggerated.
delusional, and right there I'm just like, bro, like the POV aspect of it, and then I'm like, okay, they're showing it twice. Maybe there's that little
No,
chance,
because it
you know?
it went on for too long and it was too detailed. Like
Okay.
it was too highlighted of a moment. It's literally where we end after like 50 something minutes. Generally speaking, you don't try to make something like that be like, "Ha, it was just a dream," you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I
yeah,
mean,
it was rough though.
I think I was praying that it was a dream. I was like, please God, don't tell me they killed all these kids for real. I was like, as soon as it was in her like from her viewpoint, I was like, okay, maybe these kids actually survived. But now I realize the first time we watched the episode, it was from the little girl, the black girl, from her perspective, because she was up there in the box seeing all of it happening down below. And then this one is from the girl that went to the asylum. This is from her peripheral. But I think a good thing to touch on, I mean, as sick as that was, like, I ain't gonna lie, man. What happened to the black girl? And she was just putting the sheets over her head because she didn't want to hear her dad
Oh
and her
yeah.
grandmother talking, to like you hearing the heartbeat, to her like inside of her body. I was like, what the freak is going on? And then her literally getting birthed out and seeing her dead mother, like nightmare fuel. Like that whole sequence took me out. Like it took me out. Y'all saw it. Y'all literally witnessed it. But that might have been too much. And I was kind of like, if it gets worse from here, I'm done. Like I might have to leave. That's why I said I'm happy about the balance. Like they didn't shy away from the horror. And when they do lean into it, it is executed well. It's just not my cup of tea. But I'll let y'all talk about that because that was.
I still think that it's gonna get worse. The episode 2 was a really big setup episode. Well, character setup episode where there's like multiple characters that we're trying to shine a spotlight on more so than just throwing the horror at you the whole time. But I mean, still I guess the horror moments that we saw, I think it's quite clear that we're gonna go way past episode 1 shortly. But yeah, I don't know. It's gotten a lot more expansive than the narrative, a lot bigger than I would have thought.
Yeah, Bizzy, what did you think about that whole sequence?
The which one specifically?
The one where the girl literally got birthed out of her dead
Oh
mother.
no, yeah, no, that was a lot. That was a lot. At first, like I knew she was like kind of like in skin. It was kind of like a similar effect to what they did with the lampshades in the last episode. So I was like, okay, this is like this is a lot, and didn't expect it to result in something so personal, such as her mother being like, "Oh yeah, you were the reason I'm dead. You ripped me apart," you know, and all that stuff. And it was just that was just very very heavy. But they handled that really well. I mean, so far, I mean, I thought it was going to be interesting to see how they were going to go after they got rid of all the child actors in the last episode, but still with the two that they have here, not including Will, but the two girls, they like they're great actresses, like they're killing it.
Yeah.
And then in that sequence, I mean, I could feel the fear, like that was impressive. Like they did a good job with that.
Yeah, and then even like the grocery store, the
Hmm.
pickles, that was some creepy stuff
I
too.
knew it was gonna result into something like that. Like I'm like, bro, like with all of the jars that got broken, I was just waiting for it to transition to like her in like an aisle with like 8 jars broken. I'm like, oh, I'm waiting for it to like for them to like have a reason to send her back, and they ended up doing that.
But I wanted to ask Jarrell, like as far as like how they even did that from, visually, like moving around, like I mean, I think it was a good touch to have like somebody randomly peeking in, peeking out and messing with her, but like it was another one that they used really personally. Like we knew that her dad got cut up, but to put him in the freaking pickle jar and be like, "Oh, give me a kiss," like I ain't gonna lie, when that tentacle wrapped around her neck, I was like, "What are we doing, bro?" Like I don't know. What was your thoughts on that, Joe? I mean, Drill.
So I mean that the whole grocery store sequence I thought was brilliant. I mean, I think a lot of the recreations of the 1960s and trying to make it this Stephen King town. I think it looks great, and the grocery store was a lot a lot of great small details. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still not even sure. Yeah, like once the tentacles get around her and the pickle jars are exploding. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not really sure what to think of all that. But it's really good horror imagery, but it's really good like Pennywise. It's very similar to the kind of weirdness imagery from the first two movies. So
Yeah.
I'm glad there's like a through line there. It doesn't feel like I don't know, separate from what we saw in those first two films. It's a similar vibe, the horror imagery. So that's good. But yeah, it was fucked up.
No, it was so messed up, and
Yeah,
I think the thing that scares me now is, I mean, as dope as it is, that intro, right? Intro was fire,
oh
like,
yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yep.
but anybody that's an anime fan knows that generally, if you watch an anime intro, it pretty much tells you where the story is going to go. And I'm concerned that everything that was in that intro is going to happen or come to fruition in some way, shape, or form. And I was wondering y'all's perspective on the intro, because it was really detailed. Like, there was one moment, I think we saw like a nuke go off. There was one moment where we saw like somebody in the asylum getting lobotomized. And
Yeah, we
one
saw
moment,
Pennywise with the gun, bro.
right? Like, somebody was shooting up the town and Pennywise was sniping somebody out of the air. Like, do y'all think that this is plausible that we're going down this route?
Honestly, I think everything they showed there, it'd be so cool to see all of that happen visually,
That's
like, you
sick.
know.
That's sick.
But at the same time, I mean, I don't know. I
That's
don't know. I feel like that'd be giving away a lot, but I'm sure there's always other stuff they're gonna use to fill in the gaps that will be equally surprising. So I don't know, man. But
I would say that probably most of what we saw was some kind of not only foreshadowing, but it could be foreshadowing things that happen like beyond beyond this season. So and there could be some aspects of it that are just like purely like metaphorical, but I'm it's definitely not random noise. So and we haven't seen the events previously, so we can only deduce that it should be some form of events that are about to take place. And they don't really make any sense, so we can't really exactly say like, oh my god, spoilers. So yeah, it's intriguing though, but that's my best crack at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that the other thing that is really well done in this is, I mean, there's a good balance of practical effects, CGI, but I think that the editing of this and how they use transitions is actually really well done. Like, there was some crazy transitions, for better or for worse, emotionally or
puking one was great. I like that one a lot.
yeah. But I don't know. What did y'all think about the editing or any other technical side of this episode?
It's been really cool. I mean, for me at least, it's one of the reasons why. I mean, I don't often get too frightened when it comes to horror movies, but I find them really fascinated, specifically when the way they kind of set up like jump scares or the way they set up the moments that get your hair sticking up, like the creative mind or just the art that kind of goes behind it, such as that whole entire aisle scene with the pickles and everything. The way that we slowly see everything and kind of closing in, and while she's walking away, we see people kind of putting and setting up the edges to the maze, if you will. And it was just interesting, the choices that they made specifically in those moments. And I feel like they really did a good job with I guess the creative level of it.
Yeah.
And just the editing in general, not even just for the opening, because I was just really caught off guard by that and didn't think I was gonna like it that much, but it was really cool. But they had several moments, such as the transitions, like the puking one, and again the pickle aisle sequence. But a lot of cool moments that we witnessed.
Yeah, Darrell, any technical things you want to give them a shout out for?
Maybe just for the I think the actress is plays the little black girl, Amanda Christine. I think that's her name. But she the whole nightmare sequence where she's in the bed and it's like this infinity sheets that turn red, and then she's like coming out of her mother. Like that whole sequence, I thought was done really well on a technical level. Particularly like the last little jump scare where the mother like she sort of like the Grudge style, just gets off the bed and sort of launches towards the viewer. I thought it was a great image. Yeah, the show is at its best when it's operating on scares. When it's not, it's solid, but there's a significant difference in quality.
Yeah, I think that there's another interesting touch. I didn't realize who Leroy's last name was, played by Javon. His last name is Hanlon, Jarrell. Leroy's last name is Hanlon. Think about the kids from the original It. Hanlon.
It's been a minute since I thought about this, but
I'll give you a hint, Mike. That's Mike's last name. The black kid, his last name is Hanlon. Mike Hanlon.
Oh, shit, it is, yeah.
I would not have caught that after those 66 minutes or whatever, but that's bad.
The only reason why I was like, when you were talking about like his last name, kept on bringing it up, and I was like, I've heard that last name before, and I was like, freak, it's Mike. But I don't know the significance of it.
That's a good catch.
This has got to be taking place in like the 60s or something like that.
This is like 62, I think they said.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes more sense. Man, I may have to look at it chapter 1 again, because they did some really interesting things about like the history of Derry. Like I think they did like the scrapbooks when the kids were going through it or something like that. I can't remember exactly when, but they definitely did go through some weird stuff that happened in the past. And I think this is where this is going to tell that side of the story. But I thought the way that they kind of phrased it was like decades worth of stuff that's been happening. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is going to be an anthology based on the different generations, or if they're going to just lead us all the way up until we get to it chapter 1. But it was a strong episode, man. Like it didn't drop in quality. I agree with Jarrell as far as like tone. I didn't think the military stuff was going to be going anywhere. But I do like the trajectory of the military stuff now, because it still leads us right back to Pennywise. It just reminds me of kind of how we first watched Stranger Things for the first time. We like, how does this all fit together? But this is much darker than that. And the execution of the darkness is pure evil. In certain standpoints from my perspective. Anything else we need to touch on this episode? I mean, we can talk about the 3 drunk black guys that almost got caught. Or we could talk about like the sheriff getting coerced into blackmailing a little girl to giving up somebody for no reason.
I thought the sequence with where he kind of like realized that Masterson wasn't the one that broke into the house. I thought that was a really cool moment where he was like, "Hey, like, take this gun. Let's see if you can even like cock it back, and let's see how fast you are with it." And it kind of like really proves like and shows how good he is at what he does.
Yeah.
And it was just a really cool moment. I thought that was dope.
Yeah. Drew.
What was the question again?
Oh, was there any other moment that we hadn't uncovered that you want to kind of break down?
Not really. I don't think so. Well, I guess maybe. So what was supposed to be all the major takeaways with the very last sequence where the military is like digging that car out of the mud and we're zooming in on the skeleton?
So no, we know that the colonel got Leroy involved, that it was all a part of a test, because he looked at him as a man without fear. And so that by the time they get to whatever the weapon was, in theory, it wasn't going to affect him, which is crazy because Mike has a very interesting gift with that, but I'll get to that later. But ultimately, they got to the site where the other black guy that was drunk had been like saying like, this is where we're going to find the clue. And then they found this caravan with all these dead bodies in it. The thing that we don't know is that the black guy that's working this secret mission has some kind of ability, and they haven't really divulged what that ability is. That kind of scared me. And I don't know if it's that he has ESP or what, but the way that they kind of said it is that he's got some kind of ability, and that's what we don't know. That's the only reason why they found the vehicle there. So I don't know.
Gotcha.
But I think that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
What's your rating, Bizzy? Drill out your rating.
I'm give it 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm feeling a 8 out of 10 as well. I still feel that episode 1 is just a few paces like just better, more memorable. But yeah, it's still solid though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it took it down a notch because that would have been too much for me. So I am going to continue this, you guys. This is an A- or B+ for me. I still probably give it an A- because it's still the things that they did show were enough that messed me up. But I think the story is moving forward in a good trajectory. So I'll leave it at an A- or maybe, I don't know, it might go down to a B+. But we're going to go, guys, because these guys are tired. I'll let Bizzy let you know who he is. This is where you can find him.
Bizzy Brown everywhere and over here dropping reviews.
This man's tired, guys. He's gonna get some rest now. Jarrell, where can everybody find you?
Jarrell's Alexandria. It's my channel, YouTube channel. You can find all my content there. Reviews, sometimes reactions, and yeah.
All right, guys. Without further ado, we are gonna go. We will see you for episode 3. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Filing out the top of I can see the skyline, 50 mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing on my mind. Oh Lord.